Realtor.com made some bold predictions for our 2025 housing market. Today, we're going to go over it. We're either going to agree or we're going to call BS on it. We're also going to apply it to the Sacramento real estate market and see if it is actually applicable in any way, shape, or form. Now, the other thing we're going to do in this video is go over some of the new home communities as far as the incentives that are being given right now. And then we're going to end it with some Q&A from the channel like we always do. Guys, this is going to be a good one. Like I said, Realtor.com just dropped some bombs about 2025. You need to know exactly what they're thinking and if you agree with it or if you're kind of like me calling BS on it. All right, guys, hopefully you guys are having an amazing holiday season. Let's start off by saying the last live I did on Intel, basically, if you watch the last live, the concept of the whole video, and just to sum it up, is basically Folsom is a juggernaut. And at this point, we hope we keep Intel. We know we don't, but it probably won't happen. But at the same time, Folsom is on its own, and it's going to be just fine. So hopefully you guys got that as a general point of the entire video. And someone said it was a fluff piece. Kind of was, honestly. Like I hoped you guys would have, I hope a lot of people who live there realize that Folsom's more than just a place where Intel is located. So, okay, that out of the way, let's talk a little bit about the housing market forecast. Now, this is the season right now where people like Realtor.com, like Zillow, like Redfin, everyone comes up with their predictions. And for the most part, I think that one of my biggest gripes about these predictions is the fact that in the years that have past us, everyone's been wrong about interest rates, which has just led basically to completely off forecast for the next year. Interest rates are something that we've seen in our market that cannot be forecasted. It has just screwed everything up as far as people going, yes, like everyone said, rates are going to drop by the end of the year. And guess what? They have not. They've actually gone up. So this is one of my biggest gripes I have with these forecasting. And Realtor.com is basically basing every single thing that they're saying that's going to happen in 2025 with the idea that interest rates are going to be in the low sixes. Now, they could be, but at the same time, it's a lot of basically assumptions to put on an interest rate that I go back in time and look at Realtor.com. They haven't been quite right about the interest rate themselves. So let's get into it and let's talk a little bit about it. And you guys, I want to know what you guys think also about the interest rates. If you guys are thinking that we're going to be have a better year or whatnot. So smash that like button, by the way, if you could. I'm going to keep going and got a little bit of a cough. So hopefully we'll get over that as it goes on. Okay, so the biggest thing is here's kind of like the spreadsheet of the Realtor.com stuff, forecasting. So basically what they're saying is that basically we're going to be hovering around the low sixes for interest rates. Now, as you're going to see, though, that basically what they're saying, if we do remain at the low interest rates or low sixes interest rates, everything else is going to come alive, I guess you can say. They're saying the median price appreciation is going to go 3.7, and this is for all the United States. And we're going to break down all this stuff as I think it relates to the Sacramento area. Because, guys, one of the things that kind of irks me, and I don't know if you guys feel the same way, is when I see these real estate channels that are basically lump summing the United States into one big category and saying Florida is the same as Texas, is the same as California, and Sacramento itself, comparatively towards California, there's no new home build. Well, there's not a whole lot of new home building in the Bay Area, in SoCal and everything too. In Sacramento, we've got 30,000 new homes that are on their way and being worked up in Folsom, Elk Grove, West Roseville. We got West Sacramento that's doing it. So our market is very, very interesting. It is completely different than any other market in California or the United States. We have things coming into our market like the A's. We have also people who are looking for a cheaper housing and they're going to Vacaville, they're going to Linda. So our market is very, very different than most, and a lot of people who work in our market have state jobs, and the job diversity is a lot different than most markets as well too. So we're going to go over some of the stuff that they've said, and we're going to kind of apply it to our Sacramento market. Now, I want you guys to come with me on this ride, and if you guys agree with me, I want a thumbs up. If you don't, I want you to tell me what you think exactly about what I'm saying, if it relates. Now, as we can basically gauge on Realtor.com's prediction is they're predicting that for the most part, next year is going to be a little bit better than it was this year. little bit better interest rates in the low sixes, but for the most part, things are on the uptick. Inventory is going to pick up, and there we go. And spring and summer is going to be popping. That's basically what they're saying right now. Now, some of the things that I find that were a little interesting is home prices to continue to rise to 2025. Now, here's the biggest point for me is in our market, what I've noticed is a lot of sellers have inflated the prices of homes, right? A lot of these houses that I've seen on the market, a lot of times in El Dorado Hills, a lot of times in other areas, especially in the luxury market, I've just seen an inflated price tag. And a lot of these homes have been sitting. We're talking months. They've just been sitting there and sitting there and sitting there. So what does that mean? Now that they're going to put them on hold or take them off the market and repackage them in spring, are we thinking that they're going to increase the price on them? Or are they going to actually list them what they should have been listed at the first place? So for me, I'm not really exactly sure about if they're talking about like what they were listed at, what they should go at. So this for me is a little bit interesting as far as home prices. I mean, they're saying basically the prices will continue to rise. And the price doesn't mean what it's sold at. The price could mean a lot of different things. For me, I look at it, what does that exactly mean? Does that mean that something that was listed maybe for $2 million towards the end of this year is going to be repackaged and maybe thrown up for a higher amount? Or are sellers going to be realistic a little bit when it comes to 2025 and say, look, we listed for $2 million. We're not going to watch realtor.com and see what they said. And we're going to actually list it for 1.8. We're going to sell it. How does that factor in exactly? Because for me, that confuses me a little bit. Because, like I said, you guys have been watching the show for a while. And for the most part, we've been seeing the biggest thing is that things have been sitting on the market because a lot of times sellers have overpriced their homes. So for me, I need a little clarification on that. The next one, and this is just mind-boggling. If you guys are seeing this, right, this is basically the affordability forecast in like the United States. This basically means that, look at that jump from like 2019 all the way to 2025. We're hitting that market right now where just one person can't buy a home by themselves. And this is just scary as it is. I mean, I think one of the things that I've noticed about Sacramento in general, and one of the things that a lot of people have been talking to me about, is the fact that I always say that as far as Sacramento goes in California, it's affordable comparatively towards like the Bay Area, towards Los Angeles. But for me, one of the things that, and I have to kind of concur a little bit too, comparatively towards the pricing in Sacramento 5 years ago, we are not as affordable as we were back then. I mean, right now, a lot of people that I work with, I don't know if I'm working with even one person that is just buying a house by themselves. So as far as affordability, as far as like saying, I can't buy a house by myself, at this point in time in history, renting is more affordable than actually buying. And if you're one person looking to buy, it just doesn't look good. So our affordability, I mean, that's just something that is just nuts. I mean, look at this. 30% of a person's income would go directly to the home. That's just nuts. And that doesn't include HOAs, fixing up the house, if you want to put some upgrades in the backyard or anything. So that's just for me is just insane. Because, like 6 years ago, I was working with a lot of people who were like getting out of Sacramento State, buying their first property, and they were doing it by themselves. And now it's just not, Sacramento's just not that anymore. And I think a lot of people that I'm noticing too are kind of leaving towards places like Linda, like Plumas Lake, like Vacaville, like Wheatland. I mean, a lot of new home building is happening out there. We're seeing home building happen in the high 3s, low 4s. And those are the prices that I'm seeing a lot of first-time home buyers really, really like. And a lot of them also are just saying, you know what? It might not be the ideal place for me to buy or live because I got to commute a little bit, but that's what I can afford. And I'm getting a great incentive for the new homes. And that's kind of what I'm doing. Now, as far as this goes, I do think that, let's go to the next one. For sale inventory. Now, this is a huge one for us in Sacramento because this could mean a lot of different things too. If you live in the Bay Area, you basically are going to be dealing with like resale inventory. That's your thing, right? It's resale inventory. But in Sacramento, it's different, right? I mean, right now, the biggest trend in Sacramento is new homes. New homes are just it, right? You can get an amazing rate. You can get what you want. Maybe they're a little dense, but at the same time, as far as competition wise, like a lot of times, like they're even cheaper than resale homes, right? And so for us, the biggest thing is like, for sale inventory or resale inventory is going to rise. But in our area, we have more competition for resale inventory. We have new homes. I mean, how does that bode for resale inventories? If you're a seller looking to sell your property and you're saying to yourself, you know what, I'm going to list my home in Folsom, California, and this is what I want to get, you have to factor in also how the new homes are going to factor into like what you're going to get for your home. So our market, like I said, is very specific because we have so many new homes. I mean, we have builders like Lennar, Taylor, Woodside, Tim Lewis, we got Toll Brothers, we got every builder underneath the sun, and they all have multiple communities out there. And this is an interesting one because if you look in California, we've got to be one of the top, one of the leaders in like new home communities and starts and everything too. I mean, so for me, that's just nuts as it is right now, because for us, if I'm someone looking to sell my home in an area like Folsom, I can guarantee you that a lot of the people who are looking at Folsom resale are also looking at Toll Brothers in Preserve. They're looking at Taylor Morrison, and they're also looking in that direction as well too. So that's just more competition for the resale market. Now, does that mean resale isn't desirable? No, it absolutely is, but it just is another factor you have to understand that, in Folsom, look at Tri-Point and Lariat and Canterley, right? Where else in Folsom could you basically get a house that was a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 1,800 square feet with a decent sized backyard in Folsom for like $610, $615? You can't. And so that kind of competition definitely needs to be factored in a little bit. Our market is a lot different. So if you're someone looking to sell your house, like let's say an area like Folsom or an area like Elk Grove, if you're selling a resale home in Elk Grove, yes, people love resale just because established communities, but you're competing with Tim Lewis, Taylor Morrison, Beazer, New Home Company. You're competing with so many builders in that area that those are things you need to factor in as well too. So for resale, yeah, we're getting a lot of resale right now in the market. It's not new, it's retreads, or it's stuff that's been sitting for a while. Now, do I think that that's going to continue during the winter months? Absolutely. Spring is going to be the time where if rates are maybe in the low 6s, eventually, you could see some resale stuff, kind of a lot more resale stuff start popping into the market, and it could be better, but it's still a long ways from spring. I think right now in our market, what I've noticed is it's cold. Our market is cold. I don't care what realtor you're talking to. I don't care what's going on. I went to Coldwell Banker Metro, the biggest Coldwell Banker office that I'm associated with in the Sacramento area. And normally we have a tour of like 12, 14 homes, right? We had one home on tour. One home. It is the lowest tour that I've ever seen at Coldwell Banker. And it's mainly because of two things. One is a lot of sellers are deciding to do the holidays thing. They don't want to put their home on the market. And two is a lot of listing agents like us for specifically, unless we have a client that's adamant on selling their home right now, we'll definitely tell them, hey, look, hold off till spring. Right now is not a great time of the year. Right now is not a great time to list your home. You are a little bit also at the mercy of buyers more than I think you're going to be in springtime. So that's something definitely to kind of keep in mind as far as that goes. Now, I did a little bit of stuff that we're going to go into Sacramento specific that is stuff you need to factor in. I'm even going to give you a little interesting kind of tip about the Sacramento area that could really bode well. If you are one of those people that like doesn't want new homes and wants resale, I do have a very, very good, it's kind of a positive kind of thing that I'll share in a second as soon as we go over all this Realtor.com stuff. Okay, as far as home sales, the timing of the market, inventory matters. With mortgage rates not likely to end in 2000 at a higher level than most were expecting. Sorry, let me read that again. With mortgage rates now likely to end 2004 at a higher level than we're expecting earlier this year, we expect the willingness of homeowners to sell their existing homes and buy new ones to wane. Yeah, now that's a big one. Now, and this is why these type of things that Realtor.com, that Zillow does, these predictions, just drive me bonkers, right? Everybody, including Realtor.com, was basically predicting that at this point in time in the year, we would be in maybe high fives or in the fives at least, right? And we're not. And so based on that, what you're noticing is that a lot of the sellers who are saying to themselves, we want a bigger home, or that's what we're looking to do, they're discouraged. They're like, we're still in high interest rates. It's a winter season. We thought this would be a great time to go, and it's not. So just understand that a lot of people who are thinking about selling their homes and buying another home, were the variable of the interest rates being lower, or the interest rate being lower, was it was so important to them. And now interest rates are higher. A lot of buyers, or a lot of, looking to sell their homes and then buy homes, those people are basically like, not in good shape. They're kind of saying to themselves, I thought rates would be, low sixes, maybe high fives. And we were looking to maybe make the move right now because we didn't want to deal with the spring market. But rates are up there. Inventory is still not really great. And we're not sure exactly what we should do. So, we have clients ourselves who were thinking about listing their homes during the winter season because they're counting on maybe a 5 something interest rate. It just didn't happen. And now they're putting it off till spring. So I do think right now, the rate sensitivity is just huge right now. And I think basically that throws off the entire predictions by realtor.com, because if rates don't hover in the low sixes like they're predicting, everything that they've just said in this prediction is completely going to not work. So, okay. Wild card, like I said, mortgage rates. And I love how they put this in towards the end of the article at realtor.com. Mortgage rates, wild card. Basically what they're saying right now is hey, look, we're telling you that if mortgage rates stay at a 6.2, 6.3, everything we're saying, we're going to stand behind it. But there is that wild card. If rates do drop or go up, all bets are off. That's just awesome. Especially the one variable that everyone's been wrong about the last couple of years. That's the thing they're putting. Yeah. All right. What will the market be like for home sellers? Limited inventory, strong demand in most areas could mean that sellers still have an upper hand in terms of negotiating prices, especially in desirable locations. Okay. Now here's the thing, guys, and this is a huge one. Hopefully you guys will understand this part. Location is so key, especially in our market, right? You have to, if you're going to be selling your home, you have to kind of gauge, how fast things are moving in your area. If the same floor plan is selling on your block, you've got to really have a good strategy about listing your home. You also got to kind of look at the interest rates. If interest rates are going up, it might not be a good time to list. So being very strategic about when you're going to list your home is going to be more important than ever in 2025. Now, the other thing too, for you guys too, if you've been watching, I've been watching Instagram, I've been watching all this kind of stuff, and everyone's like, oh, it's a buyer's market. It's not a buyer's market right now. It is absolutely not a buyer's market right now. Right now, it's just not. So if someone's telling you it's a buyer's market, they could be a little desperate to get you in contract. It's not a buyer's market. Even now, you're seeing houses that, yeah, you might have a little bit of an advantage if a house is maybe there's no furniture in it. It's been stale for a while, but you got to also know how to comp out a house. I mean, you're looking at a house and you're saying to yourself, hey, that house is listed for $1 million. It's been on the market for 3 months. I'm thinking we pay $950. How about if the house is worth $850 and you just totally blew your comps because your realtor doesn't know how to comp out an area or anything like that? So just make sure right now you're not getting thrown into it just because maybe the market's cold and maybe people want to get a sale done. Just really, really know how to evaluate and to comp out homes, because it could really come back and bite you. I've been seeing it more than not in this type of market that's cold. The people are assuming right now that sellers, for the most part, are desperate. They could be. I'm not telling you they're not, but I'm telling you, you guys have got to kind of figure this out. You have to figure out how much left do they have to owe on the house. You have to figure out if there's no furniture in their house. You have to figure out exactly what the area looks like, how fast things move, what the price per square footage is in that area, how popular the floor plan is, how good the realtor is selling the home. All these are little factors that'll help you understand exactly what you should be actually paying for that home. Because the last thing you want to do is think that you're getting a smoking deal and all of a sudden you realize you're not. So that's what I'll say about that. All right. Can home buy, and this is a big one, guys. During the holiday season, a lot of people are going to be out there. They're going to be looking to buy Christmas trees, presents, go on trips and everything too. If you are a serious home buyer, if you're saying to yourself, I am moving to Sacramento in February, I need to get a home there because I am going to be starting work and I do not want to rent and I want to buy a home. Guys, I'm telling you, this is the time of the year to start pinching those pennies and saving. The person who's going to be more financially prepared when they're ready to buy a house is going to win, straight up. Now, I'm not telling you you should buy a house, but I'm telling you if this is your time to buy a house, Start saving. I know, don't be tempted to Costco. Don't be buying those Christmas trees, or don't be going on those trips and everything too. It can be a little daunting at times, but the buyer that is more financially prepared is going to win in the long run. And yeah, there's willpower. I mean, man, I go to Costco and sometimes I leave paying like $600. I don't even know what I spent the money on. It is tough during this time of the year, but I'll tell you something straight up. If you're serious, if you're looking to buy, the person who's more financially prepped to go, and the one who has is most educated on the areas and everything too, they're going to win every single time. All right. So now we're going to get into our own market. And if you guys have any questions, if you guys have any opinions about 2025, if you guys think it's going to be a banner year for real estate, if you think it's going to be horrible and you think there's going to be a crash and all the prices are going to go down the toilet, let me know. I'd really love to hear your opinions. And then we can talk a little bit about it. Okay. So here are the things that are happening Sacramento specific. There's things that a lot of times where you're watching the national like realtor news or about like how the U.S. housing market's doing, it's just lost of the crack because Sacramento is so different than most. Number one is the A's. I know I harp on this more than not, but the Oakland A's coming in to Sacramento for at least 3 years is a big thing. Now, there's this one big developer, commercial guy, Ethan Conrad. He's making a big play towards downtown Sacramento. A lot of people are seeing that as in like downtown might be that spot you want to invest in. Now, here's the thing. I've seen for at least the last month and a half where East Sacramento and Land Park, Curtis Park, all those areas, not Curtis Park just as much, but Land Park and East Sacramento, just because they have more inventory, have been soft. I've seen 3 bedrooms, 2 baths. I've seen like houses that normally should be selling for at least $100,000 more, not. Why? Well, more people now than ever before are looking towards like areas like Folsom, like Rockland, or Roseville. They want those new schools, but a lot of people are also forgetting the fact that downtown is a very, very thriving economy. The Kings, you got the new Kaiser building coming into place. And a lot of people might be moving out of the downtown Sacramento, the East Sacramento area and Land Park. But the people who really do know the Sacramento market, if you've seen appreciation, you can't really beat Land Park. You can't really beat like what's called East Sacramento. And even like a dark horse like Southland Park, those areas are going to be areas that if you haven't heard about, you should definitely check out. Those are areas where a lot of people are saying that because of the A's coming into town, because of the new Kaiser, because of all this stuff happening in downtown Sacramento, those are areas that you could see massive appreciation if you decide to buy in. Areas like Tahoe Park, areas like Oak Park. So don't kind of always start shooting for like the Folsoms and the El Dorado Hills and the Rocklands and the Roseville. A lot of your focus might be at that, those areas right now, but I'm going to tell you something. Some of these areas, if you're someone who's an investor, if you're someone who's looking for a quad, duplex, or even just like you want to move into an area that's a little bit more like downtownish, but you also, you want a place that's going to appreciate. Downtown, I'd say right now, it could be a spot that a lot of people are overlooking, and they might want to look around areas like the Midtown area. I mean, I'm telling you guys, East Sacramento historically has shown some of the best appreciation ever in Sacramento, in the Sacramento area, and it is so soft right now. East Sacramento and Land Park too. Those 2 areas are like OG, old school Sacramento. They are where some of the, they're amazingly named kind of areas where everybody knows, everybody loves them, but these markets right now are super, super soft. So I'd say if you're someone who's maybe basically like looking to move to Sacramento, you love all that stuff like tree-lined streets and everything too, and you're thinking to yourself, maybe I will look at Land Park, maybe I will look at East Sacramento, and then you start thinking to yourself, you know what, no way, there's just no way I'm going to get there, the competition is fierce, I'm going to get outbid. Right now is the time where if you like Land Park and you like East Sacramento, both those markets are relatively soft comparatively. So I would look into those. Okay, so now what do you got? Now, this is a new one. This is something I was thinking about a couple days ago, and I was talking about it with a friend. If you're someone who's basically looking for resale, and you're saying to yourself, like, I'm just not exactly sure. I'm not seeing a lot of inventory. And even though Mark's saying that we might have some additional inventory in the market, I'm just not believing it, right? Now, here's something that's kind of interesting. And this is something like, for example, I live in Gold River. Now, Gold River is a community that was built in the 80s. Now, what I'm noticing right now is that a lot of people in Gold River have lived here for their entire life. They they were first people to buy the homes, right? And so a lot of people that I know in Gold River, I would say at least 25%, if not more, are original owners. And what you're noticing is like, they're getting it to the moment where they want to either downsize or they're looking to just kind of like maybe just put their homes up for the market. So I would also say if you're looking at an area, if you're looking at a house, like let's say, for example, you're driving down in Roseville and you see the houses, because the funny thing is, if you look at Roseville, there's communities in the 80s, 70s, 80s, 90s. These communities, there's a cycle, right? There's some, and you guys probably know this as well as I do. It's like there's a cycle where all of a sudden, like there's all young families, kids go to college, mom and pop stay in the home, they get a little older, and all of a sudden it's downsizing time and they're gone. And so what you notice right now is there are a lot of communities that were built in Sacramento in the 80s, right? In Roseville, in like Rockland, in El Dorado Hills. Those are the ones you might want to be looking at as well too. Like I know right now in Gold River, there probably will be a lot more homes up for sale because this community was built in the 80s. So, and they still have a lot of original owners based, I mean, this is simple stuff you can kind of look on the MLS. So if you fall in love with a community, especially a master plan community, and you see like, basically like you go and see exactly the history of the sale and you see it's an original owner, I would keep an eye on it. I think that that's a huge like step. I think that's a huge way of analyzing areas, right? Because I've seen it. I've seen it where my parents grew up and all of a sudden there were all these kids riding bikes on the street and all of a sudden the kids went to college, the parents stayed in the house. And especially now than anything else, I mean, we saw a lot of people refinance at these 2% interest rates, and they're still there. But at the same time, right now, they have this big house. They got a 2-point-something interest rate. They might not want to sell their house. They might not want to even lose their interest rate, but it's kind of a too big of a house to maintain. So those are the communities that I would kind of look at if I was looking to move into Sacramento. And they're all over the place. Like, I kid you not, like in Sacramento, if you look at like the Folsoms, if you look at the Grand Bays, if you look at the Gold Rivers, everywhere, like a lot of the communities were built in like what's called the 80s and the 90s. I would start marking out which communities I liked and also go to Zillow or call up our team and we can do a little of analysis if it's an original owner or if it's not. And I think what we might see, and you guys might get lucky, especially if you're looking for some resale inventory, is some of these communities I think are having that whole like, circle of life, I guess you can call it. So I would just keep an eye out for that. Okay, so again, one of the things that we have in our Sacramento market, and we're going to go into in a second after this, is some of the new home incentives. There are some, right? I'd say also what we're noticing is the incentives are a little bit more, they're a little bit better in areas that are like the outskirts of Sacramento, like I'd say Linda, Vacaville, like Wheatland, the outskirts, maybe like, 40 minutes drives around from Sacramento. You're seeing amazing incentives. I think right now what we're seeing in Sacramento is that a lot of the builders, it's a builder by builder, home site by home site deal. Like what you're noticing right now is Taylor Morrison not giving away too many deals. Toll Brothers, not at Preserve, but at Bickford Ranch. So you really have to know exactly specifically which builder, which community to look at if you're still looking for some of these incentives. As of right now, and I thought at the beginning of December, we'd see actually more incentives. We're not seeing a whole lot of incentives. We'll go into some of these as well too. Now, as far as luxury properties, I think if you're looking for in the luxury market, I think right now you're seeing a lot of stuff sit on the market. I think people are worried about home insurance right now. And I think that a lot of our luxury market is built kind of near Folsom Lake and Grand Bay, or is built in El Dorado Hills or in the Hills area where, fire insurance is a thing. So I think that's one of the biggest things that hurting our luxury market right now as far and interest rates being higher. But I think, what I've been hearing is there's going to be some legislation passed next year that could help that. That's not a guarantee, but that's something that's on the rise. Now, another thing too is, and I think this is going to be a big one, and I've heard this more towards the end of this year than ever before, is I've heard of people falling in love with El Dorado Hills, but because of PG&E, it is not even the price, not even the savings. It's just like, I do not like PG&E, and I do not want to live in a place where I have to pay PG&E, my electric bill PG&E. I don't like it. I don't want to do it. It's getting worse for PG&E. So I think that right now, a lot of people are pulling towards Folsom, Sacramento, like, a SMUD, Sacramento Municipal Utility District than ever before. I've actually probably like maybe once a month, I'll get someone who's very, very adamant. And it's like, yeah, the price savings, yeah, everything. They're like, I just don't want to deal with PG&E. That's what I'm hearing more and more. So I find that very, very interesting. And I think that's a trend that's gonna continue. All right, guys, if you're enjoying this live broadcast, please smash that like button. I really appreciate it. If you guys are thinking about moving to the area or coming out, reach out to our team. We'd love to talk to you a little bit and show you the area and everything too. We're always around. And you're going to see this as I show you some of the like new home incentives that we're rolling out. But I also appreciate you guys tuning in. I know this is your time. And hopefully you find this broadcast worth it. We are a boots on the ground team. So for us, for the most part, I mean, today we're doing a house tour in Gold River, and we are doing a holiday tour in Gold River with like 6 amazing houses. If you guys are interested in tickets for that. And then after that, we were with a client up in Folsom Preserve. And then after that, we went up to Rockland and then Elk Grove. So we are a team, boots on the ground. We cover the entire Sacramento area, Sac County, Yolo, Placer, El Dorado. So if you have any questions about any of these areas, if you have any questions about any of these builders, if you have any questions about anything in general, about our market, we're a very active team and we'd love to answer any questions you got. Okay, so here, let's get into it. Inventory. You're seeing inventory kind of do this. It is increasing, and it's not because there's so many brand new things hitting the market. But what you're noticing is it's a weird little balance of things stacking up on the market. There's also, what you're going to notice now is a lot of people are going to start taking their homes off the market and putting them up for spring. So this is going to plateau a little bit, probably in the next couple, probably a week or two. Now, as far as median list price, you're seeing it decrease. What you're seeing is right now, sellers are kind of understanding that if they are going to list during this time of the year, because interest rates are higher and demand is really low because a lot of people are like out skiing, that they got to price aggressively, and that's just how it is. Now, normally, if I'm out there talking to someone who's trying to sell their house, I say to them, if you really want to sell your house during this market, we have to price aggressively. I would advise you, though, for us to take photos pre-market and then list in spring, because that's kind of the better time to list. But occasionally you have people who really want to get going on their house and sell their homes. And the best way to do it in this type of market, with interest rates being higher than anticipated towards the end of this year, is to price aggressively. So that's kind of what you're seeing with the median list price dip a little bit. All right, properties with price decreases. Now, here you go. It's plateauing, which just means that it's not as bad as it was before. But what you're seeing right now is people are at their wits' end. They're like, look, we're going to drop the price, but that's it. We're here, and if we have to, we're just going to relist in spring. So that's kind of what you're seeing right there. All right, so as far as interest rates, we're seeing it go down a little bit, but it's still not even close to what we were thinking it'd be like by the end of this year. A lot of people were anticipating high fives, and a lot of people were just not expecting like the rates to be close to 7%. Like I said, and I was talking about this probably sometime in July, I thought we were going to do the dance of the sevens, above 7, below 7, and this and this. So I think we're probably going to see, high 6s, probably December, probably January, and then it might kind of drop a little bit. Hopefully we get that drop that they're saying, 6.2, 6.3 around spring, because I think our market really, really needs it. Now, for you guys out there, if you're a seller or if you're someone who owns a house, honestly, and you got a 2.75, for you guys out there, I just want to know if you would this interest rate be worth it to you to jump out of your house, to sell your house, and to jump into something and grab this interest rate? It's still a big problem that I think a lot of people are they just don't want to do it. I know everyone's like, oh yeah, inventory is going to pick up and everything too. And I know that there's going to be people who are downsizing and everything too. It's just a hard thing because there's so many people who are so adamant on keeping their 2.75s. And I get it. Eventually people will have to sell, they'll have to downsize. Maybe people get divorced or whatnot. And I get eventually people will sell their homes, but it's just like when I talk to people, even people who are selling their homes, they're like, yep, I'm giving up my rate. And it's just so painful, their look on their face. So I don't know. It's going to be an interesting one. And like I said, I think it's a little bit easier for people that I've noticed who sell their homes and jump into a new home, because like I said, a lot of the new home, communities are still giving 4%, 5%, and it's a little bit easier because you still feel like you're getting a deal from the resale homes, but you're not getting as good as a 2.75, but you're okay. You know what I mean? So the new homes still, I'm thinking, I don't know. I don't know. It's interesting. All right, here's so like I said, guys, one of the things about our team is we are always talking to our new home connections. We got people at KHOV, at TriPoint, at Beezer, Taylor, you name it, we know all the communities. In fact, this channel, we've been doing new home tours and connecting people with new homes for the last 5 years, longer than any other channel humanly out there. So we know everybody. So what you're going to notice is that our team will go out there and just basically call or text some of our new home salespeople. Because see, here's the thing. In this market, maybe in November, it was like, oh yeah, there's a 3.5, any resale home or any home on the market will do. But now what we're finding is that it's not just a blanket incentive. A lot of times it'll be on specific homes. Like you'll go out there and you'll see a 2.99, you'll drive out there and go like, I want that home. And they'll say, no, not that home. That home, yes, it's a 2.99. That home, we can't help you with that one. So I would say before you drive out, before you get like hooked with some of these amazing interest rates, call our team and say to us, and hey, look, I saw this interest rate on a website. Is it legit? Let us know. And we will text people. These are actual text messages from some of the people that we've actually received like information about like, incentives. So here we go. And this is a 3.99. This is a KHOV. And this is at in Rancho. And so they have this brass off 3.99 FHA rate locked 30 years. And like I said, this home site 27 is available. Now this is based on everything that I'm seeing that KHOV has now. The Paseos are all gone. And basically this is probably the best deal that they have going on right now at KHOV as of today. Now this could be gone tomorrow, but if you're looking for something and if you're looking for this, I think this thing is in somewhere in the fives, I think it's 550, 560, but we're talking, they can get a 3.999 FHA rate lock, which is crazy considering what the rates are today. So this one, if you're looking at Rancho, I would look at home site 27, great deal out there too. And like I said, it's only going to be on specific home sites, house plans and all that stuff too. If you're looking for something like, let's say for example, that you want to build your home from scratch and you're like, you want a certain thing, like they're kind of not doing that stuff anymore. It's hard to find builders except for like Toll Brothers, maybe Tim Lewis, that'll let you pick every single finish. They have these packages and they have these kind of like, these templates or whatever of the houses already done. And so you can do a little bit of upgrading. You can do a little bit of changing, but like 3 years ago, back in the day, like you could go to Toll Brothers or you can go to Taylor Morrison and you could pick out every aspect of your home. They're not doing that anymore. They have these palettes that are designed for each house and they're good palettes and they're very much like interior design friendly and pretty and like, great cabinets, white countertops, but that's what they're doing right now. And they want to get these things going. So, okay. So this is KHOV and this is a good deal right here. Boom. The next one. This is LGI. Now, LGI, whether you're going to Lincoln or whether you're going to and they got all of these communities lined up. LGI has some of the best incentives as well, too. They have an FHA 5.25, 30-year fix, 2-1 buy down, 3.5 the first year, 4.5 the second year, 5.5, 3 to 30. And all you need is $1,000 earnest money. So if you're looking for something and you're saying to yourself, I want to go to Linda, or if you go to Lincoln and they have other communities, this is a very good deal. It's one of the better deals that I have been seeing lately. And this is LGI. All right, next one. Boom. Now, here's another thing too. A lot of people, and I don't like to send you guys other places, but man, Vacaville is blowing up right now. The prices are pretty good, comparatively, but man, I'm going to tell you something. Like a lot of people have been asking me, who normally buy investment properties here in Sacramento, a lot of people have been also looking at Vacaville. They've been looking at like Wheatland and other areas too. So there are other areas that we're going to focus on this channel in the future, and we're going to show you inventory and new homes in Wheatland, in Galt, in Woodland, all that stuff too. So this stuff is going to be crazy. All right, so we got Wheatland. Boom. 4-bedroom in the high 400s, KHOV. A 4-bedroom house in Wheatland in the 400s. And honestly, a friend of mine named Rosie, who works over at KHOV in Rancho, she basically lives out there. It's a little country, It just is what it is. But at the same time, like if you're looking for affordable, if you're looking for like that little Americana country kind of like little area, like Wheatland is just blowing up. And they're building some nice houses with monster backyards. So if that's you guys, man, I would definitely check out Wheatland. All right, Taylor Morrison, Elk Grove, Esplanade 55 has great prices, and they will pay your HOA dues for the first year or two. Okay, so Taylor Morrison normally, if you go to Madera, if you go to the one in Folsom, like the one in Folsom also by February, they're going to be gone. And the Taylor Morrison also for the one they have in Madera over there right now, they're going to be gone probably like within the next 3 months also. Like Taylor Morrison is wrapping up, so you're not going to get too many deals. But now here's the thing. Taylor Morrison's active community, Esplanade, Turkey Creek, they have some units and they're willing to deal. What I've been noticing right now is the active communities, just because there's a little bit more restrictions in the active community, you can get a lot better deals than you can in the regular communities. So Taylor Morrison, I would say if you're looking for Elk Grove, Esplanade, fantastic community. A lot of people are always telling me that Turkey Creek is a little further out there for Taylor. This one is a nice plus 55 community out there too, and they're giving some great incentives. Reach out to our team. Century Communities in Lincoln has a 4-bedroom. Lives in the high 6s, now low 6s. Century is interesting, right? They built in West Sacramento. They built their first community is going to be in Lincoln. This is the first community they're building in Lincoln. They're building like more of like a high-end community in Lincoln as well too. I think Century and Lincoln might have overshot a little bit, and I think they're priced a little high. So if it was me at Century, I would say wait for it to hit. I think it's still going to go further in the low 6s, but I still think for the square footage, for the floor plan is pretty good. And they have another 4-bedroom under $600,000. I think they should have been priced at their 4 bedrooms in this community specifically under 6, but we'll see how it comes in next year. And the next one, Tri Point in Rancho Cordova, has 5 bedrooms. There's now $675, which is a hot deal. Okay, so if you guys don't know, Tri Point in Rancho, fantastic. They have like 3 communities. We did some videos on them. I would say that, how can I say this? Like, out of the communities there, Pulte, I think is okay. I'm not a big fan of Pulte. I would say between Quahav, I think Quahav you can get the best incentives, and probably Quahav will give you the best incentives, I think. Tri Point is still doing their 6%, but it's not for everything, right? It's only for select homes, which is just kind of hard to navigate. You really need to know which community is doing what incentives and what floor plans and what lots are getting what incentives. And like I said, hopefully this helps you guys a little bit. But for me, I like Quahav. I think Quahav is a great community. And I love Sagebrush or single story. But I am loving Tri Point in Rancho. I think the price point is good. I think their small community, their smaller community in the 5s, it's just the floor plans are so clean, so nice, so spacious. I think they give you a nice sized backyard. I really, really like Tri Point. The Woodside community over there too, the smaller floor plans. If you guys go to the smallest floor plan in Woodside, they're actually going to be redoing that floor plan. Because the plan 1 over there just doesn't really work, and they have this weird kind of water heater closet. But if you're looking for something in the 5s, guys, honestly, Tri Point Rancho is the place you should be looking at. Great deals and everything too. Now, as far as other areas, West Roseville, I think the price point in West Roseville is jumping up, right? Normally, like I say, like you're able to get stuff in the 5s, even in the low 4s or in the high 4s, at Balboa 2 at DR Horton. But right now, honestly, I'm not seeing too much in the West Roseville area in the 5s. Everything is jumping up to like the low 6s, and that's kind of the norm. I would still say for me that if you were looking for the best bang for your buck in West Roseville, I still love Meritage. I think their build quality is phenomenal for the price point. I think their floor plans are really, really good as well there too. I would say after that, maybe you're looking at DR Horton. I think Woodside is out there as well too, but I'm not really in love with their floor plans. So that's kind of what I'd be looking at. I think DR Horton also should have stuck to building in the high 4s, low 5s, but they went up and now they're new in Amarillo Ranch. They're building in the 6s, which I think might be a little bit high price for what they're trying to do out there. And I know they're offering some good incentives, but it's still hard, I think, for DR Horton to jump up that. I think I like their price point. I liked when DR Horton was building in the high 4s and low 5s. I really, really like that. And they were cleaning house on that Friday. I just don't think that their floor plans that they're selling right now in the low sixes, I just don't think they're competitive with Meritage right now. Okay, so that's West Roseville. What else? Lincoln, they're building a ton of new stuff. And I think people are now taking a second look at Lincoln, even though at first they looked at Lincoln, they're like, it's a little too far out there. But I think a lot of people are revisiting areas like Lincoln, like Linda, like, like even like Wheatland and Vacaville and even like Galt, because they're realizing right now that the new homes are just gaining steam. And I think what we're going to notice too in 2025 is they're not going to slow down. I mean, I know so many new communities are going to be built in 2025. You got Woodside building at least 4 of them. You got Taylor building at least 3 more of them. Toll Brothers, I think they're going to announce their Roseville community sooner than later. So there's not going to be a slowdown on the new home building. And I think prices are going to increase, and I think our entire market is going to just go crazy. I would love to see a couple more builders in Folsom Ranch as well too. But those are kind of incentives that I'm seeing right now. Let me see if I got any more here. Okay, Taylor Morrison Elk Grove has permanent interest rate buy down that could save hundreds of dollars a month for the life of the loan, not expected to be offered next year. Okay, in the new year. That's another thing too. Even though the incentives aren't as good as they were at the end of October, beginning of November, these aren't incentives that you're probably going to see happen next year. Normally what you see with new homes is once the year ends, they slow down a little bit, just their building, and then they kind of pop back up February and everything too. So if you guys are looking for a new home and you're thinking to start looking maybe like mid-January or February, you might not see these incentives. In fact, communities like the Taylor Morrison and Folsom Ranch, they're closing house on that one. They're not going to be building in Folsom for a while. One of their communities, also Taylor Morrison in Elk Grove, they're going to be close to finishing up as well too. So I would say also don't start thinking to yourself, oh yeah, next year there's going to be more incentives. They're going to be doing that maybe towards the end of 2025. But I think everyone's planning on, especially in the new home market, for it to be a very, very busy spring. And they're going to be like shedding these incentives probably at December and in the new year. There's going to be no guarantee incentives are going to exist. And here's the thing. There always will be some sort of type of incentives, but we're talking about like some, walking into a new home community and they're like, hey, you know what? We'll give you $5,000 towards closing costs, as opposed to like right now, we're like TriPoint on select models to say, hey, we'll give you 6%. Yeah, that's right. 34 grand. You can use it towards closing costs or buying down your rate. Those crazy incentives are going to be done, I'm guessing, towards the end of December. And then probably towards the beginning of next year, you're going to see them kind of settle down into a back to normal, like 5,000, 15, 10,000, something like that. So just expect it to kind of be that. And if you are someone who's looking for a new home, it isn't as great of a time to strike as it was in like October or November, but it's going to be a better time to strike now as opposed to when they start the fiscal year, Q1. Just saying. You don't have to buy, but it's probably what you're going to see. All right, guys, if you're enjoying this broadcast, smash that like button. I'd appreciate it. All right, Toll Brothers Lincoln. Oh, man, Toll Brothers in Lincoln. All right, guys, here's the thing. And I like Toll Brothers. I like TriPoint. Man, Bickford Ranch is just hurting. I think TriPoint out there has sold 1 home. I think Bickford Ranch right now is just doing whatever they can to sell some houses out there too. If you're someone who wants to live in Bickford Ranch, you're in the Loomis School District, and you're in Bickford, and the special assessments are just killing them out there right now too. Trust me, they're beautiful homes. Absolutely love it. But at the same time, like, the special assessments are killing them right now, and the fact is they're so far away. Now, I'm not saying eventually that area isn't going to develop and grow and be amazing, but it's just out there. So like I said, I'd say if you're looking for a luxury home and you love Bickford Ranch, man, now's the time to strike over there because they are doing some smoking deals. And for me, I don't know. I mean, TriPoint 1 home sold. I mean, I don't know. I like 3 weeks ago, that was it. But they're moving at a snail's pace. And all the salespeople out there are doing a fantastic job. Like my buddy Joe's out in Bickford and everything too. It's just that the product, a luxury product, out there, and the amenities aren't out there yet. And it just is a little vague what's going to be built out there. It's just not an easy product to move. Normally, like, how can I say it? Like, you got Toll Brothers, right? El Dorado Hills. You got the views, gorgeous, you know what I mean? And then, like, you got, like, Toll Brothers in Folsom Ranch. Oh, it's just, what's going to be there, right? And then you got Toll Brothers in Bickford. And everyone's like, what is a Bickford? So it just is one of those things. Also, hey guys, if you're interested too, I put a shout out to a buddy named Eric. He actually moved into a Toll Brothers home in El Dorado Hills in Hidden Ridge. And I want to bring him on the show, hopefully next week if he's available. And I want to talk a little bit about the community of Hidden Ridge and Toll Brothers as a builder themselves. Like, how are they? If you're thinking about buying a Toll Brothers, this is going to be honestly transparent as it comes. We're going to talk about hiccups he had, speed bumps, if it's worth it, is he happy, how was the process from start to finish, why he went with the #1 new home sales team in Sacramento, all that kind of fun stuff. And Eric's a really good guy, and he wanted to jump on the show and share his experience with you guys, because I know a lot of people are thinking, man, I want Toll Brothers. That's what I want. He's going to give you the first first everything. He's going to tell you exactly why he picked Toll Brothers, why, if he loves Hidden Ridge, if he's happy with his purchase and all that kind of stuff too. So I'm excited to have him on the show. I was going to have him on today, but I just wanted to make sure the sound and the video quality was good for you guys as well too. So that should be a great show. And that's going to be next week, hopefully, unless he has other plans. But it should be a really fun show too, because one of the things I liked, and a lot of people have told me like that, interview when I had Sabo on, who moved into Elk Grove, they really, really liked it because, a lot of people who watch this channel are like Sabo, are like Eric. They grew up in the Bay Area. They love the Bay Area. They moved out here, and all of a sudden their like stress level is lower. And both Sabo and Eric bought different things. So it should be pretty fun. Compare and contrast. All right, let's get into some questions and some polls, and then we are done for the day. And like I said, if you guys are having a good time, if you guys are enjoying this live broadcast, this isn't like jump cuts. This isn't reading off teleprompters. This is exactly straight up live broadcasting. So live, just like that says. So give me a smash that like button. Comments and questions are always welcome. Now, another thing to note, if you guys put your comments down in the comment section between now and next time I go live, I will bring up your comment and we will go over it and we'll talk about it. So don't be shy, write your comments, talk about communities, ask questions. That's what I'm here for. All right. So I did a video on the Fab 40s. A lot of people who moved in Sacramento don't know where the Fab 40s is. It's a thing, right? So Fab 40s are like on between 40th and 49th, between Folsom and Jay. If you're new to the area and you are a fanatic of holiday lights, you really want to go see an amazing light show, this is like amazing. There are estate style homes. Everyone packs in the car, hot chocolate, and they're going up and down the roads. Fab 40s are amazing. You got people like Ron Reagan live there. You got like some gentleman named Mariah lives there. You got a bunch of people that live in the Fab 40s. Appreciation, houses built in the 20s and 30s, just unbelievable houses. So if you guys are big fans of architecture, you love different styles of homes, you like houses that are set back, and you just want something a little different than what you've maybe seen on a lot of these channels where you're seeing tract homes, like go to the Fab 40s, walk down the streets. Really, really amazing spot. All right. Done. All right. We got a question. When it comes to HOAs, what is the difference in responsibility when managing houses versus condos, townhouses? For example, HOAs maintains the outdoor premises of the condos. Is this the same for houses too? Oh, let me read. Depends. Okay, so here's where HOAs get really, really confusing, right? I live in Gold River, so I have an HOA, and it's it's like $340 a month. I know. I'm not a big fan of it, right? But it maintains the front of the house. The greenery, we got landscapers coming in every Friday they're here. Everything gets maintained. I get my house painted, I think once every 7 years. I have to deal with the roof. I have to deal with all the backyard stuff. And there's other HOAs that are just basically ones like if you're in Sacramento, and let's say an HOA is like $80 a month or $40 a month, they're basically just put in place to basically do nothing except enforce the CC&Rs. So like you can't have Bob over there painting his house pink, right? So you see a lot of those HOAs. So every HOA, if you are thinking about buying it, look over the HOA guidelines. Every HOA that I've seen is kind of like different about what they maintain. Some of them have a fence. Some of them employ like a person to work the security. Some of them have security patrols. Like every HOA is a little bit different. Now with condos, the big one about condos and the big ones with HOAs is deferred maintenance, right? And with townhouses or condos, and that's the big one. A lot of times people will buy houses or a condo and then not realize that maybe like there's deferred maintenance that they have to pay for after they've closed. So that's the biggest thing. So each HOA is a little bit different. Let me think. In Gold River specifically, for example, like the Powell homes, the Brown homes in Gold River have a lot more rules and regulation, and there's a lot more greenery to maintain, so they're more expensive. And they paint the house, right? Whereas like the non-Powell homes, I think it's like 180, 190 to 240. They just kind of maintain the front and everything too. And they also make sure that you get, this is one of the things I always get, like, in Gold River, you're not allowed to park in driveways and you're not allowed to park on the street. And so we have parking enforcement that goes around too. I know. I'm not a big fan of it, but wife's family lives in Gold River, so we're in Gold River. But that's kind of what it is. Let me reread the question to make sure I hit the mark too. And I apologize if I didn't. It's just been a long evening. So if someone manages a house or condo, townhouse, for example, HOA maintains the outdoor premises of the condo. Is this the same for houses too? Yeah, like I said, for me in Gold River specifically, for our HOA, all the outdoor area is landscaped, managed by the HOA. Now, the crazy part about Gold River specifically is that Gold River you're actually a part of 2 HOAs. Gold River's HOA, and then on top of it, the village you're associated with. So Gold River's HOA is 1 fee, and then depending on which village you are, how much greenery you have in your village, it can be more expensive or less expensive. So that's kind of how it works. Hidden Ridge, for example, in what is it, like 220 or something, their HOA. They have a gate. Everything's maintained in the front, and that's it. So each HOA is a little different. But before you, and this is a huge one, 2 things to know about an HOA. One is before you pull the trigger on a house that's in an HOA, make sure you read the guidelines of the HOA. I would even go to a neighbor next to the house and say, how bad is the HOA here? And number 2 is get yourself a seat at the board. Honestly, like that's the biggest word of advice I can give to anyone when dealing with an HOA. All right, Pamela. Hey. All right. Boom. All right, Intel announces plans to sell Folsom campus. What does this mean to Sacramento? Nah, Intel leave will not affect Folsom. Used to go to Goth, where there's Intel community there too. Yeah, like I said, guys, honestly, like Folsom is grown up. It is off the Intel training wheels, and it hasn't been relative to Folsom's like make or break for a long, long time now. So inside 735 3-bedroom bungalow, land park, small house, no backyard. Not worth the money for Sacramento. I hate the barnyard doors. Guys, this house, and this is kind of what I was telling you guys about land park specifically, is this house I think now is being listed for $599. It's a 3-bedroom, 1 bath. Not having 2 baths kills it. But if you look at this house maybe about 2 years ago, it probably would have sold for about $735. But because land park is soft right now, guys, you can get some great deals in land park and in East Sacramento. All right, Rancho Cordova's most affordable new construction homes, Tri-Point. Will the developers build balconies? Here's the thing about balconies that I've seen. Majority of the homes that I've seen balconies on are homes that are above maybe like $1 million, right? Toll Brothers build some. Taylor builds some when they're building over $1 million. I have seen, Tim Lewis does. As soon as you're above maybe the $950 to $1 million price point, JMC does as well too. Normally that's when I see the balconies pop up, but up till that point, I don't see too many balconies. Explorer 540, beautiful neighborhood, lucky people. Yeah, guys, those holiday tours are nice over there. I think Folsom should try to attack other tech companies like Cisco and kick out Intel. I've heard some stuff about Intel already. I can't really release it because it's a person I know, and they told me some secret facts about the Intel company. But I will say that you could be seeing the Intel campus, with a big Q instead of an Intel. The company starting with a Q could be there sooner than later. So that's all I can say. All right. To clarify, Intel is only selling the property, but it isn't leaving Folsom. They'll lease back multiple buildings on their current site. And it's mostly a way for Intel to save money since the current property is underutilized. It's still sad as I remember that Intel's presence in Folsom is so much smaller than it was a few years ago. Sad to see Intel go. Wish we had tech presence here in the region. Here's the thing. We have like Micron, we have Cisco. We have Micron, we have Oracle, we have HP, we have Apple, we have Amazon. We do have a tech presence here. Now, what I've been hearing more than not about like Folsom and Intel's been bleeding for a long, long time now. I mean, in 2023, Intel had 750 people were let go at Intel itself. it doesn't look like it's going to slow down either. So for me, like, I feel bad because back in the day before real estate, I was in the tech market, and it's just a brutal business to be in. Intel was the top dog, but right now, if you look at all the trades, if you look at all the stuff going on, Intel is bleeding. So just so you guys know. All right, Rancho Cordova is more affordable new customer community. As a parent, I want a bedroom to be on the first one. Yeah, guys, I'm telling you, like, one of the biggest things, and my wife, totally with you, she said to me straight up, she's like, she needs a bedroom, she wants the bedroom to be the first one, the primary bedroom, because she wants to be at the foot of the staircase. And so I get that. I totally understand that. And like, Nikki and I went back and forth about this too. And, she is right about it. I think being a parent, one of the things that I've noticed is that, and this is something just to keep in mind if you guys are looking to move in a house, a lot of people want the bedrooms towards the back of the house, and they want the primary bedroom to be accessible before the other bedroom. So I get that. If you guys feel the same way, give me a thumbs up. All right, next one. Intel is bleeding cash. Tough for them to recover, if ever. I agree. I think that Intel is, I don't think it's going to be good. All right, they're spreading bad info. Intel has never announced it's leaving the Folsom site. Yet the site's for sale, but does not mean they and the jobs are leaving Folsom like you make it sound. Here's the thing. All I know is they've let go, or they fired 750 people in 2023, and they're going to keep going. I wish they weren't, like I said, for me, it's just, I feel it, because honestly, like, tech firing is the worst, because you don't know at all what's happening about your job. So I feel bad for it, but I don't think Intel is going to be there for much longer, even with, and maybe I'm wrong, and I hope I am. And I hope the people who work in Intel, like, I hope they're good and everything's fine. But what I've been reading and what I've been hearing from people that I know at different companies is that Intel is just not in good shape. But then again, like, you never know. All right. New homes in Folsom, price predictions in the next few years. Well, okay, here's the thing. I think new homes, as far as prices go, Beezer was a community that I didn't really like the floor plans. I didn't really like the prices on them as well, too. And guess what? Beezer sold out. I think right now you're probably going to be looking at a higher ticket price home in Folsom. I think that, the age of the tri-point homes, the Canterley and Lariat of the sixes, I think that that's over. I think you probably won't see brand new homes being built in Folsom underneath 720, 700. I think Folsom is a rocket ship. And I think what you're noticing right now, especially in what you're going to see in the next couple of years, is that if you've driven into Folsom Ranch, you've seen like the new UC Davis or the medical center being built. Pretty soon you're going to see like, the next middle school or the next elementary school, the next high school. Then you're going to see that sports center. So like, you got to understand, like, Folsom is still is like on fire, right? Without the amenities. Now imagine when it has like a mall that rivals like the town center up in El Dorado Hills pop its heads up in the next couple of years. Like, and all of a sudden it has a sports complex that they're building. And all of a sudden it has another high school and it has another middle school. Like, when those things happen, it's even going to get a bigger boost, and it's even going to be more desirable of a place to live. Right now, it's still just houses. Honestly, everyone goes over to Costco, goes to Palladio for like, eating and everything too. Just imagine what it's going to be like in a couple of years over there. Sports complex, new schools, all that stuff. It's going to be so much more desirable to live there. People are going to see it. There's going to be trees. The preserve's going to be there. It's just going to be nuts. So I think right now, I think the Folsom price point is going to get higher and higher and higher. I think it's going to become one of the staple areas in the Sacramento area, bar none. I think it is going to be, it's just going to, I don't know. I think it's going to be one of those spots that just is going to grow. Like I said, it's for me, the thing that's so crazy is that like Folsom Ranch itself, like there's nothing out there. Or a year and a half ago, there's like nothing out there. There was no building. There was no commercial. There was nothing. There were just houses. There were just communities being built, right? That's it. There were not even trees for the most part. They're just houses, and they were still selling like crazy. So now that like the houses and the communities are already there, people's Melloroos are pumping into the area. Like, now you're going to see it. Now you're going to see it develop. You're going to see it grow. You're going to see all these green trees mature. You're going to see like all the schools. You're going to see all the commercial they're putting in there, the medical center, the sports. They're going to see more schools. I mean, like literally, like you're going to see it turn into like, so like it's already desirable, but now it's gonna go crazy. Now is when like all your Mellorees that everyone who's living in Folsom are gonna go into everything that they're gonna be putting into Folsom. Police, new police departments, new parks and everything too. I mean, have you guys seen that elementary school at Folsom Ranch? Like I took my daughter there to play soccer. It was nuts. Like that elementary school, phenomenal. And you're gonna have another elementary school like that. You're gonna have another middle school, another high school. Commercial, nice like boutique malls, not those like, strip mallish kind of stuff, nice upscale boutique type malls, UC Davis medical campus. I mean, it's going to be such an amazing spot. So for me, like if it's done this well right now without all that stuff there, and now you're going to add that stuff where you don't even have to go across the 50 to go to like the Palladio. You can just go like take a bike ride to your, your new mall, your new like restaurants and everything too. I think it's just going to be phenomenal out there too. I mean, how many people agree? I mean, like Folsom is just going to be amazing. By 2030, it's going to be that spot everyone goes to. It's going to just, for me, I just can't wait to see what it turns into. But like I said, it's already doing great and there's nothing there. And now there's going to be so much there. It's going to just blow you guys away. It's going to be like, hey, have you guys seen the new sports center? Oh my God. Have you seen the new middle school? Have you seen the new high school? Yeah. So for me, like I said, you guys all bought into that community. You bought all into Folsom, and now all those houses, all that it's got to be at least like 15,000 houses already built. Like all the Mellorees are going to be pumped into that area to make Folsom just crazy. So I don't know. I see it. I see it going in a good direction for a lot of people bought into it. All right. Thank you. I'm a current homeowner in Folsom Ranch. Intel layoff scared me. We're fine. I mean, here's the thing with Intel. This is what is up. Intel employs maybe 5,000 people. I think for the most part, I've heard already rumors that there's other companies that are kind of bidding to maybe take it over or should. I don't think you should be worried. I think if anything, Sacramento's area, I think we're getting, like I said, like we're steering away from like that kind of stuff, right? Like what I said always on this channel is in my opinion, 100% accurate. Like our market is not based on tech. Our market doesn't mean like NVIDIA can, go in the toilet. We're fine. Doesn't matter. You know what I mean? And I'm just using that as like, just a case study. Like, we're state jobs. We're like healthcare. I mean, Mercy, Dignity, Sutter, UC Davis, Kaiser. And there's more that I'm not even hitting. Then we got like all these new schools, all this like educational jobs as well too. All this infrastructure job, all the building jobs also. I mean, man, we've got such a nice diversification of jobs in areas like Folsom. Man, we're good. Folsom. I mean, I think Intel was one of those things that was like, yeah, Intel, great spot in Folsom, as far as like the top employer in Folsom. Yeah. But Folsom is off those training wheels, and Folsom is an amazing spot to live. And like I was telling you guys in my last video, it's like, people didn't move to Folsom to get a job at Intel. People moved to Folsom because it's an amazing place to live, because of the scenery, because of the lifestyle, because of the community, because of the house prices and everything too. So that's what made people move there. And so for me, I think Folsom's in a good spot. I think it'd be good. All right. Afit, thank you. I'm current owner at Folsom. You'll be fine. All right. Let's go to the next one. My desire city to buy a house is Roseville, but I think every home has HOAs. I looked in Elk Grove, Rockland, same thing, HOAs, put families into a situation of not being able to afford a home. I'd say this, if you're looking for a new home, I'd say new home in Roseville, you're talking about maybe 65 to 70% of the new home communities right now probably do have HOAs. I would say there are some cute communities in Roseville. The older part of Roseville, no HOAs, no Mellorees, and they're cute. And I think that area is like undervalued. I think the older Roseville is nice. I've been highlighting and I've been doing these videos of communities in the Sacramento area that don't have HOAs that are affordable too. So you might want to check them out. But if you want to, and you can do an anonymous email to me or text, I'll send you a couple communities if you tell me exactly kind of what you're looking for that you should check out. There are some, but they do require a little bit of digging because Sacramento is becoming so HOA friendly. And like I said, in a lot of the videos I've been featuring, like El Dorado Hills, ones that don't have HOAs or Melrose and all that stuff too, I can definitely help you with that. So don't lose hope. All right. Pamela, you mentioned about Sacramento homes no longer being affordable with one income. Sadly, this is the case in several states. I'm in Georgia and it's ridiculously expensive here, especially in Atlanta. Yeah. For me, I think about it. I have three daughters. And I think about it too. I say to myself, like, I want them to be independent. I want them to be like, financially good. I want them to be all that educated, all that stuff too. And, my thought early on, like maybe, 5 or 10 years ago, it'd be nice for them to graduate college, get their first property. But now it's with interest rates and the way everything's going, it's just not an easy thing to do. And so it's sad, yeah, hopefully that changes, but I just don't see it changing anytime soon. Guys, if you guys are enjoying the broadcast, please smash that like button. It would mean a lot to me and my buddy, the YouTube algorithm that keeps bugging me for more likes. All right, Rancho Cordova is best deal for new construction. Rancho Cordova is great if you like a quieter neighborhood with outdoor activities. It's closer to the American River, Sac State Aquatic Center, Folsom Lake. It's great to work in Folsom or downtown Sacramento. You want more affordable community with much cheaper or no HOAs. Yeah, guys, honestly, Rancho for me, especially now that I've been seeing West Roseville's prices go up higher, best bang for your buck for new homes. Even and the incentives, I know a lot of people are like, they love the Vineyard area because it's close to Elk Grove, but the incentives aren't as good as they are right now in Rancho. The Rancho area right now, if you're looking in the Sac area, like I said, the area that I think if you're looking for the most affordable new homes is probably, and this is how I rank them. I say like Vineyard, then go to Rancho. Then I'd say Antelope and West Roseville. Those are the four that I like as far as that stuff goes. But then if you factor everything in and you factor in the incentives, Rancho just pulls ahead from them all. So like, I do love Rancho. I think it's a great bang for your buck. I think if someone is like looking for something that you got the schools, the location, growth potential, I like the Rancho area. I think it's really, really good. And I think a lot of people with that the project they're putting out there, I think it's a Brandon project, or I'm totally butchering the name, but it's this big like project they're putting in out there as well too. It's like a green community work. It's just, Rancho has so much potential out there that I only see up in that area, upsides. All right, boom. Will Folsom be an amazing spot to live without intel? Do not move to Folsom. I don't know where you live, but I will tell you one thing. If you bought in Folsom, I would say right now is when you're cashing in your chips and you're looking at the new sports, whatever center with the 3 indoor hockey rinks being built. You're going to see nice area. It's going to be so nice in Folsom Ranch, man. I got to admit, a little jelly. It's going to be good. You guys are going to be loving it. I will probably be bringing my daughter up to Folsom Ranch to enjoy those malls and everything you guys got coming, and maybe the indoor sports center too, although I'm not a big hockey fan. All right. Folsom stop, not issue community. Nice video. Yeah. Briggs Ranch, guys. If you want a community, I swear it's just like I was talking about, like no HOAs, no Melrose, close to the water, like really like old school, like really nice community, guys. Check out Briggs Ranch. Love that community. All right. Who thinks some of the tech firms is going to pick up Intel's campus in Folsom? California is an L for business. Here's the thing. I think there are some people though. I think like Oracle's making a big play in AI. I think there's a lot of companies doing it. I don't know. It might be a little different in the future for California for a lot of businesses. So I wouldn't count out Intel's campus going to a tech firm. I would say, like I said, you might be seeing it with a big Q in front of it sooner than later. All right. No HOA fees is a hidden gem, Gold River. Gold River, guys. If you guys don't know Gold River, if you guys live in Sacramento and you guys are thinking, hey, you know what? I hear this guy all the time talking about Gold River. I live in Gold River. We're doing a Gold River holiday tour. We got 6 houses and we're putting it together with the entire school, Gold River Discovery. And if you guys are interested in checking it out, it's Friday, at 4 p.m. Hit me up. You guys know my number. It's all over the YouTube channel, and I'll tell you a little bit about it. You can go check out Gold River, drink some cocoa, have some good times, and see what the community is really like in Gold River. I definitely encourage it. All right, Fair Oaks top no HOA. You guys getting the theme of the no HOA, no Melrose affordable? I'm trying to find these communities for you guys, so you guys know that you don't have to settle for an HOA community. You have to go overpriced. You can find some great stuff. So this is a good one too. Good friends of mine live there as well too. I love the community. Community vibe is awesome. No HOAs, no Melrose. House prices are really, really nice. You get big pieces of land. Great community. And if you guys haven't seen this video, take a look at it. All right, no HOA fees. Gold River. Gold River is a great area, and no HOAs makes it even better. Yeah, guys, Gold Station is this part of Gold River that doesn't have HOAs. And if you are a lover of Gold River, and you're saying, I want to be close to American River Parkway, I want everything, I want Gold River, check out Gold Station. Pretty good. All right, another bad area with overpriced homes and no good paying jobs to be able to afford the rent or mortgages. Do not move to Sacramento. The homeless, man, I'm telling you, I don't know where you live. You gotta give me some little bit, like, I don't mind the criticism, but you gotta tell me where should people go then? Because honestly, for me, Sacramento has been nothing but great to me, and I love Sacramento, exploring Sacramento. The people are super friendly. Went to a Kings game with my daughter. I love Sacramento. All right, got the same guy. Folsom stop. Not this is Briggs Ranch. Folsom overpriced and old. Man, this has got to be someone from Texas. They're just spamming my YouTube channel. All right, Intel announces plans to sell Folsom campus. What does this mean to Sacramento? Not going to affect Sacramento or Folsom at all. Fluff piece, guys. It was completely a fluff piece. I'll even slam myself for that. Folsom, Intel. It's not going to be a big deal to Folsom. What do we got? Explore Fab 40s. Great area, guys. Hopefully you guys take a look at the Fab 40s. I think it's an amazing spot. I think if you're someone who likes unique architecture, houses built in the 20s and 30s, they're not going to give you that great room for concept. But at the same time, the Fab 40s are just amazing houses to look at. I like them. You know, I mean, they're pricey. They're unique pieces. They're pretty cool. Tri-Point had 4 communities, Folsom Ranch, no HOA. Oh, except for Canterley, the one with the shared driveway. That one had an HOA that they only had that HOA to enforce the CC&Rs, but it was like, I think $60 or something. Yeah. Ah, man, honestly, that Tri-Point community, loved it. All right, Intel announces plans to sell Folsom campus. What does this mean for Sacramento? Folsom homeowners are very diverse for employment. Intel is a very small amount of the people as to why people live in Folsom. I've lived and owned homes here since 2002, and the real estate appreciation has been very good to us. I'm not concerned about Intel's sale and leaseback proposal. I don't think a lot of people are, guys, and hopefully that's what you got. That's what I was giving away in the video too. I don't think Intel is even going to make a blip for people as far as if you bought into Folsom Ranch or whatnot. So there you go. Our Rancho Cordova's best deal for new construction homes. There are no jobs. This guy again. No jobs to support the prices and homes. Do not buy a home right now. Move to Texas. Now, guys, like I said, if you guys are looking for some great deals, great incentives, Rancho's there. For me, best bang for your buck in Sacramento right now if you're looking for a new home, and best incentives. Talk to Rosie if you go to KHOV, and talk to us. We'd love to take you over there. All right, Intel announces plans to sell Folsom campus. What does this mean for Sacramento? Your housing market will eventually be impacted by what is happening in the U.S. and the global economy. Folsom Lake is not as beautiful as it used to be due to the drought. California home insurance is high and getting higher, making it harder for people to get mortgages. Mass layoffs are happening across the tech sector, and not just Intel. Mass layoffs are also happening in banking and car industry. Luxury homes will suffer the most. It's wishful thinking that people will rent instead of sell. Here's the thing. First of all, our job diversity. And this is why these comments I love, because you got to be very specific towards our market. I do think the tech is hurting right now. I think a lot of companies are shifting to AI, like Oracle and everything too. And I think in the tech market, if I was still working in tech, I would be freaking out a little bit. But the thing about our economy right now, and the Sacramento little microcosm economy, is state jobs, medical jobs. Those two markets alone are just growing like crazy in the Sacramento area, and they pay very, very well. So for me, I look at it and I say to myself, like, in areas like the Bay Area, yeah, I'd be freaking out. Tech market, one tech company does bad and everything else is just like horrible in the Bay Area. Our market isn't like that. Our market is very, very different than most. The amount of new homes we have building here, the incentives being given here, the amount of different industries that we have in Sacramento, the diversification of jobs, as far as like banking, as far as what did we mention here, as far as all that stuff, and as far as the new legislation that might come into play next year for some of the luxury homes built in El Dorado Hills and Grant Bay and get those things moving, I still think we're in decent shape comparatively towards other places in the United States. So for me, if I was going to be anywhere and we are going into really, really crazy times in the real estate market, I would say Sacramento for me is still a spot that I see growth. And I see it a great place to live. Like I said, one is, it's not just buying a house and saying to yourself, okay, we're protected. No. You're buying a house in an area that has fun things to do. You got biking, you got hiking, you got the lakes, you got American River, Sacramento River, Folsom Lake, you got community vibe, you got schools, you got everything you could possibly want for you, your family, and your kids. But not only that too, you also have job diversity, like I always talk about. You got the medical, you got, we do have some tech, but it's not like, oh my God, people are moving here for the tech jobs. No, they're more moving here because of the community and the vibe and why Sacramento, and that Sacramento is the best bang for your buck in California. That's why people move to Sacramento, because it's the best bang for your buck that gives you the California lifestyle, and that's why people are here. So for me, the economy could be coming into a big recession, as we all have been hearing about. It's going to be all over the United States. For me, I feel the most comfortable being here in Sacramento. All right, let's go into some polls and let you guys go. And sorry about that soapbox. Will Folsom still be an amazing spot to live without Intel? 75% said yes. No? Okay. Who wants to talk a little new homes on Wednesdays live? 75%. Hopefully we did. If you guys have any also new home questions or whatnot, let me know. Chances are I can answer them. If you guys want to talk a little new home specifically one-on-one with me, please reach out. We can set up a Zoom call or just give me a call. I pick up all the phone calls unless I'm with a client. We can talk a little bit about what you're looking for, your incentives that you want, if it's even something that's doable. Also, if you're thinking about selling your house in the area and you're saying to yourself, man, I just don't want that realtor that's going to stick a sign in the ground. There is no team in the Sacramento area that can market a home better than we can, period. So reach out. We'd love to work with you. All right. Who's leaving Sacramento? Yes. If you're selling your house, reach out to, I'm joking. I think there are some people who are leaving Sacramento that I have heard. Not that many, honestly. Like a majority of the people that we run into are people who want to move into Sacramento. I would say though, for everyone out there, hopefully you find a spot that you love, a spot that is you. And if Sacramento isn't it, hopefully you find it. All right. That is it. All right, guys, we are done for the night. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the show and everything too. My team is around all through the holiday season. Like, we're everywhere, guys. If you're looking for a brand new home, we're the team you should probably be talking to, where we can tell you about incentives, who's building, new communities coming up, price points, schools, all that kind of fun stuff. If you're looking for resale, normally we have at least 5 or 10 like off-market stuff that we know that's coming to the market, and we go the extra mile where we can reach out to basically people who are looking at possibly selling their house in the near future for you, or realtors that we know in the area that do a lot of business. So maybe we could find you a house before it even hits the market. And if you're looking to sell your house, guys, nobody markets, no one promotes a listing better than we do. All right, guys, hopefully you enjoyed this broadcast. Like I said, one more time, the pander, smash that like button. It would mean a lot to me and the YouTube algorithm. We're going to probably be showcasing another new home community on Sunday, and I'm going to try to feature a non-HOA affordable community in Roseville on Friday. So tune in for that one as well too, guys. Have a good one. See ya. Thank you so much for taking the time to tune into the Sacramento Real Estate Live broadcast on YouTube. The show would be nothing if it wasn't for the viewers and subscribers who took time out of their evening to watch and contribute to the show. Now, if you enjoyed the show, please smash that like button or leave a comment on how we can improve and make this show better. Now, if you're looking to purchase a home, sell a home, or just have questions about the Sacramento area, we would love to be your team in the area, so please reach out. We'd love to hear from you. Also, if you want some additional videos about the Sacramento area, here's a good one. It'll help you understand why so many people are making the move to the Sacramento area and calling it their home. It's right over there.